Right, welcome to episode 1 of Not Another Podcast, for fuck's sake. Now, one thing you're going to notice straight away is the video quality isn't perfect. It's because I'm using my mobile, my computer's gone tits up. And you've got to do what you got to do, right? And if I just put it off, I never would have started this podcast. We'll never do anything. So here we are. First of all, I want to say this podcast is going to be all about the truth behind online business, the highs, the lows, all the bits in between. Because it isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It isn't all shits and giggles like a lot of people will make out. The whole make money online world there's a lot of lies out there. So I want to bring the truth. I'm going to bring on some awesome guests that are in the online business world. And I'm going to tell my story as well. I'm going to keep it personal. I'm going to keep it honest. I'm going to be honest with you now. I've taken a lot of inspiration from Steve Bartlett's Diary of a CEO. Now, if you haven't listened to it, I would honestly go and listen to it. It's fantastic. So without further ado, here we go. Alright, so we'll dive right in. I'm Dom. I'm from Manchester in the UK originally. I haven't lived there for a very long time. I moved to Spain when I was young. I lived there for like 16 years and I've been in Scotland for the past 5 years. The reason I came to Scotland is my missus, my partner, the mother of my children, is originally from Scotland. So once we had our daughter, who's now 8, in Spain, we decided, are we going to bring her up in Spain or we're going to bring her up in the UK, knowing the schools are a bit better here, and that's what we decided. So we've been here 5 years. I have to say this a lot, especially with a lot of my video content. If you follow me over on TikTok or even on the shorts on YouTube, I have to say a lot where I'm from, where I live, especially when I go live. So I thought I'd get that out of the way. You know who I am. I'm 35-year-old. I know I look older. I'm actually nearly 36. I'm 36 on New Year's Eve. A lot of people keep telling me I look old for my age, so hey-ho. I actually don't care. I did have a podcast. In fact, I've still got a podcast out somewhere in the online world. I did like 46 episodes. It was only audio. But I really, really like doing video content. I really like, doing lives. I do that a lot over in my community, on my Facebook group. I do a lot on TikTok. I'm actually going to go live more on YouTube as well now. I did have another YouTube channel. I've just started again. Basically, I thought, do you know what? Start again. Let's go from here. See what happens. I know it's going to be a slow burner. I would really appreciate it if you do watch this. Subscribe. Give it a like. Just so it can get the ball rolling, and we can get what I don't want to do, because I've got 20 guests lined up for probably a couple before Christmas, and then it'll be coming into next year. I'd like it to have started moving, gaining a little bit of momentum before I get the people on, because I don't want to get them on and then nobody sees it. 'Cause that'd be just a shame. Although you will see on my profile, if you do follow me, I'll talk a lot about finding your fire. So I'm all about helping people with their confidence. So there are actually a few people coming on who've never been on a podcast, still a little bit shy or introverted. So in a way, they're quite happy to go on first and at the beginning. So, if not many people see it, it's not too bad. So it'll make them feel more comfortable anyways. I'll tell you a bit of a backstory. Why I'm now helping people with their confidence. Find your fire. I call it find your fire because I think confidence is a massive thing. You could talk about, there's so many different levels of confidence. For me, finding your fire is finding that inner voice, finding that burning desire to be able to do and say what you want to a point. We don't want to be upsetting people for no reason. But, like you'll notice, I'm going to swear a little bit on this podcast. I'm going to be myself. And the people that like it will watch or they'll listen. But if you are listening to this, I know I'm saying like and subscribe. It's because I'm putting this onto YouTube, but I'm also going to put the audio onto Spotify, Audible, and everywhere else I can. So obviously, if you're listening, I am talking to people on YouTube who are watching me right now, or hopefully watching me right now anyway. So like I said, I lived in Spain from being like 14, 15-year-old. And what happened, I obviously left school, didn't finish school, went to Spain, started working, and that's really how my life's been ever since. But what happened was, living in Spain, being young, the party life came around. and it was drinking, there was drugs, it was crazy. Don't get me wrong, I had some good times, but I also had some dark times. And I think what happened, I relied on alcohol, I relied on socializing, using narcotics or alcohol to be able to meet new people and talk to people and, socialize that way. So I obviously didn't realize at the time. I was just young, late teens, early 20s. I was working hard, don't get me wrong. I wasn't like, I wasn't a bum, I wasn't an addict in any way, and I'm still not. But I was every single day. We were going out, going to beach parties, we were going to rave, clubs, and that was the only way I spoke to people. And most of the jobs that I did, I became a chef. And really being a chef, you're kind of locked away in a kitchen. So you got you and the people that you work with, and that is kind of it. So all of this, I think, led me to lose my confidence, I couldn't speak to people once I got rid of the going out all the time. So once my daughter was born, I literally stopped everything. It was like, right, okay, partying's done, that's it. Moved to Scotland, and we hardly ever go out. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll have a drink, but I don't go out like I used to. So once I've stripped that back, it's like you've got to figure out who you are again, because you're not that party animal that you used to be. So I got all this anxiety started to come. Like, I've given examples before if you do watch any of my stuff, but going to get my hair cut. So sitting in the barbers. Normally you go and get your hair cut, they start chatting to you, how you doing, what you doing, are you off today, you're not working, all that kind of jazz, just general chit chat. For me, the anxiety, I was riddled with it, like sitting there going, please don't talk to me, please don't talk to me, feeling so uncomfortable that I didn't go and get my hair cut very often, and I still kind of don't. I'm a little bit lazy like that. You'll notice I will try and keep my hair short, but if you go onto my TikTok and look at my videos, you'll see I've got short hair, then my hair gets longer, and then I got a haircut and it goes longer. So anyway, I digress. Well, what it is now I've found my fire. I went and got my hair cut last week, sitting chatting away. It's just not a care in the world. And simple things like walking down the street and smiling at people when or saying hello to people. I would never have done that before. I would have just, walked down with my head down and hoping not to make eye contact, hoping not to someone to start a conversation with me. So it took me a while to figure out why this was happening. It was very frustrating. I used to take it out on loved ones. I got angry because I didn't talk about it to anybody. So I don't think anybody really knew what was going on in my head. And I was feeling this feeling in here. It was like, why am I feeling like this? Just talk to somebody. And then it wasn't until I started creating content and I got into the affiliate marketing world, which, you've got to post loads of content. Simple as that. It's organic marketing. You post content, written content on Facebook, blogs, Instagram. You do video content for YouTube, TikTok, whatever. And it wasn't until I started getting into this, I read a few books, like Cybernetics, very good book. Watched a lot of videos with Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins, who are not related, by the way. They've just got the same second name and kind of talk about the same thing, which is very ironic. So then I realised I actually had a big think. I was like, how has this happened? Where did this come from? And that's when I realised it's because, at a young age, my socialising was going out and partying all the time. Which, once that went, I had to find who I was again. And I must admit, I prefer this version than I do the old version. And I know there's a big difference, between 20-year-olds and 35-year-olds, nearly 36-year-olds. But there are also still some guys out there my age that are still doing the party life. Now, this podcast isn't about partying and drinking and all that. Like, there is other people out there that do things like that. I just thought I would give an insight onto why I preach Find Your Fire, why I talk about confidence, and why I help people get more comfortable in front of the camera to be able to do stuff like this. Because it is like therapy. Like me talking about that, again, that's going to help me move forward. And if you could, everybody says you need to talk about your problems, talk about your issues, but a lot of the time you don't have anybody to talk to, or you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to. So doing something like this, and just being open and honest, it really, really helps. Like I said, this is going to be all about online business. There's going to be a lot of confidence talk in there. There's going to be the guests that are coming on from all walks of life, which is fantastic. I can't wait. I'm super excited. I've already had a few messages back and forth and video calls with people and getting a bit of a more understanding of who they are and what they do. Like many of people online who come online to try and make money online, try and leave the 9 to 5. We've all had different, it's like a roller coaster, you think you're going to do it this way and then something changes and then you go that way, and before you know it, you're doing a podcast or you're doing something else. And the idea is behind this podcast is to talk about online business and all the different variations of it and why it isn't all sunshine and rainbows, and and all the fluff and the bullshit out there that claim you can make all this money by doing nothing, like being broke. What these side hustles that's being broke and lazy, you can make all this money. You can't, okay? You can't make money in any business, in any job, being lazy. Now, if you get a job in the real world and you're lazy, you're getting sacked. If you want to start a business, a brick and mortar business, let's say it's a gym or a shop or something, and you're lazy, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. And it's exactly the same online. Then there's that much bullshit out there. I thought, let's talk about it. That's what this podcast is going to be. Episode 1 is a little introduction to myself, what it's all going to be about. Hopefully get some, followers, some subscribers, some people watching. Just, like I said, get the ball rolling and get ready for the guests that are going to come on. It's going to be really, really good. Now, I'm hoping, I would say after Christmas time, you're going to have to bear with me with the, the quality of the video, the quality of the sound. I've got a microphone for my computer, I've got a webcam, but the computer just says no. It won't do it for me. So I will be investing into some better equipment, even if it's better lighting. But I've got a microphone for my phone also, but the way I've set my phone, I can't plug it in. First world problems, people. We've all got them. But, like I say, if you procrastinate or you overthink something, then you're never going to do it. Like Monday, everybody starts something on a Monday. They never fucking start anything on a Monday. And it'll be the week after. Then all week you're pissed off because you didn't start a thing on the Monday. So I thought, you know what? Sod it. I'm going to do this episode 1. I'm going to put it out there. Hopefully, if I can get one person watching and one person going, do you know what? I quite like the sound of what this is going to be. Then that'll do me. That'll do me nicely. I'm not looking for millions and millions of people. Maybe one day in 10 years' time, I might be this, big podcaster on YouTube. Who knows? But that my ambition is always to, if I can help one person today, then that is enough. And, all right, I've not given too much in the way of helping anybody in this first episode, but it's just give you the insight, do you know what I mean? And people are going to make their mind up in episode 1 anyway, whether they like me, they want to listen to me. And, if they don't, they're not going to bother with episode 2 anyway. So here we are. I hope you can keep listening. I hope you can, wait for episode 2. I'm going to do these every single week. Probably put them out on a Friday, so it's ready for the weekend. If you're having a relaxing weekend, you can just sit and watch my ugly mush or listen to my weird voice. I say that because I'm from Manchester in the UK. I've got quite a strong accent, but apparently American people quite like it. So there we go. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned. Like I said, subscribe if you're listening to it on Audible, Spotify, wherever you're listening to it to. Give it a rating if you can. Maybe 5 stars if you can. If you think it's crap, then put a 1 star, but that's fine. I totally understand. I can take it. Again, please put a comment on this video for me, and I shall see you in the next one.